Welcome to this edition of Mission Control, the mini series of videos we talk about the finer details of bike setup and skills that actually make a big difference to your riding.
In this edition, we're going to talk about bar height and how you can adjust it using various different ways. You might see plenty of pros at various races you've been to doing this, and we're going to talk you through how to do it and why you might want to do it.
So the height you set your bars at actually determines where your weight sits on the bike. So the lower the bars are, the more that weight's going to get tipped towards that front wheel. The higher they are, the more it comes back towards the rear wheel. So your bar height is often determined by the discipline you ride. For cross country, a lower bar height is going to put you in a more aerodynamic pedaling position, but more importantly for that, it's going to keep the weight on the front tyre, and that's going to stop you from wheeling on those steepest of climbs. With cross country, you're looking for a weight balance of 60-40 to the front wheel.
Polar opposite to cross country is downhill. They have aggressive geometry due to slacker head angle and also big suspension forks, and that's naturally going to put your weight further back. So it's going to be really good for steep terrain and also rough terrain. You're going to find more stability. With downhill, you're wanting to have 40% of your weight over the front and the remaining 60% over the rear.
Somewhere in the middle is enduro riding or normal trail mountain biking, where you're looking for a much more balanced stance on the bike, something around 50-50 front to back with your weight. So you want your bar height somewhere in the middle so it keeps some weight on the front tyre for climbing, but not too low so that it feels sketchy going downhill.
So how do you change your bar height? Well, the first and easiest way to do so is probably by adjusting your stem spaces. As you can see here, I've got a couple on top and a couple down below. So if I want to raise it or lower it, I've got plenty of options. The next one, which isn't that cost effective, is to change your handlebar. Nowadays, there are a variety of rises for handlebars ranging from 10 all the way up to 40 mil. And this is a personal preference. I'd suggest playing around. Personally, I've got 20 mil raised bars on at the moment. You can also change the stem. You will see that some have got a 0-degree rise, which is really neutral, but these go all the way up to a 15-degree rise. And remember, if you do change the stem, if you actually change the length, this will change where your bars are relative to your body position. The last way to adjust your bar height is with your forks. Now, some manufacturers, and for these Fox 36s I have here, you can actually adjust them internally to increase the travel from 140 to 180. And other models do have on-the-fly adjustments, so you can actually lower the travel for the climb and then raise it back up when you get to the top of the descent, so you can rally all the way to the bottom.
Aside from the discipline of riding you do, so low bars for cross country and higher bars for downhill, there are a couple of other factors that might determine your bar height. Your own height actually will make a difference. So if you're 6'5", you're probably going to have higher bars than someone who's 5'2", as your bike sort of scales up. But also a lot of it does come down to personal preference. Whilst I like quite high bars because they're really confidence inspiring for going downhill, I can take some weight off the front tyre that doesn't help in cornering. So if you're sliding the front wheel and washing out all the time, maybe you need slightly lower bars to get a bit more weight onto that front tyre. So it does make a big difference to cornering.
So to summarise, by adjusting your bar height, you'll actually find that by lowering it, you're going to get more front wheel grip and it'll be better for climbing. By raising it, you're going to get more back wheel grip and you're going to be able to descend that bit easier with a lot more stability.
Personally, I like to keep a couple of stem spaces spare. So if I'm going somewhere like the Alps, where it's predominantly downhill, I'll stick an extra spacer underneath and raise that bar height up. But I don't play around too much. If you want to see more videos like this, you can click up there for stem length explained.
And why not click down there for a top 10 beginner mistakes?
Give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Click in the middle to subscribe and leave us some other cool comments of videos you want to see like this down below.
What was that one that you said? If the bar is closer to you, then it's easier to get a drink?
It's easier to, drink your pint if the bar's higher.
Yeah.
Low bar, you have to reach down there for your pint.
Good example, isn't it?
Yeah. Bar height, I'm always thinking about bar height.
Yeah.